Hello and welcome to the Clashing of Steel. So today I am controlling CPU. Basically a CPU is a disconnected player, its units and its commander. Every player in the disconnected player's team can actually control the CPU unit. Most often it is misplayed and it is sent to die or defend base. I can understand sending it to defend the base, but when some naive player dies that went head on in with all of his 3 units, after what he wants to take control of the CPU and then wants to sacrifice them for nothing, that is just horrible. If you don't know what you're doing, just send them to defend the base and don't even touch them. There are some moments when controlling CPU near your own units or near the battlefront can be useful. It can be hard to multitask and you might be spread too thin. But there is also a chance that your team members will try to use the CPU for their own advantage. Meaning that you both will be most likely fighting for the control of it. So that is probably one of the best reasons you should leave it to defend the base or behind your own lines somewhere where it is safe. If you have a highly cooperative and social team, you can actually talk about your strategies. Make sure that, let's say, a single player uses like 2 units and perhaps another player uses a single unit. There is always a chance that there will be more than one disconnected player. If there are 2, you might not want to leave them inside the base, especially if they're the ranged units. You might need their support, and leaving 2 units to cover the base means that you're fighting 8 against 10. So that will greatly decrease your odds of winning. There are really so many ways you can use the CPU, from defense, offense to most complicated tactics. There are no wrong choices, unless you just sacrifice them to archers or pikemen or something. There are good choices and then there are better choices. So here I'm trying to get the pikes to deploy. They did, so now I can run around them. They aren't as fast because I whipped my units. Any second now, the cavalry back there disconnected, just now. So I'm going to use them to flank these units. My first idea was to take out the pikes, because if I can get a charge in from the rear, it's great. And they undeployed pikes, which gave me a chance. So I thought I would send my swordsmen to fight the pikes and the cavalry around it to chase down the archers. As you see here, I'm fighting with somebody over the control of the cavalry. Apparently our tactics were different. My vision was that I would send at least a single unit of cavalry to hunt down the archers. Although they were hit with barrage, it kinda seemed to do nothing to those cavalries. So my vision is to use the cavalry to take down the final archers, or the remnants of the archers, then send them behind the opponent's lines, seeing as there is nobody down there, or nobody else at least. At the same time, I need to multitask and set up my defenses here. As usual, I prefer to stay in defensive positions, probably cover off a bottleneck or so. There is some action going on near the watchtower, or between the watchtower and our base. There aren't actually many ideal positions that I could use. I would actually suggest for most of us to regroup near our base, to set up a defensive line or cover off all bottlenecks we can. So now I'm discovering a new target for the cavalry. So sending it through is actually a great plan. Opponents might not notice it because they all seem to be on the offensive, well, at least the most of them. There are some units fighting ahead, and there are some joining the battles or covering the sides. Now it's the turn for the cavalry. But I still need to be very careful, because I don't know what is behind this line. What is behind the light artillery? Is there somebody covering them? Is somebody at their sides? At the same time, I need to be aware of what's going on around my units, at least on the minimap. If I see somebody closing in, I need to switch my main focus. So right now my focus is on the cavalry. Spreading it and sending it to take down the light artilleries. The javelins are coming. I don't actually worry about them because their target is different. I just want to take down these light artilleries. And it goes perfectly. He's probably targeting some opponents, and he doesn't pay attention to what is going on around his own units. If he would have built barricades or something, he could have actually covered his sides with the barricades and neutralized the charge possibilities. Then again, stacking the swordsman into deployed light artillery might have covered his units a bit. So this is how controlling CPU can pay out. I found an opening and I used it. Although I wasn't the only one using it, I'm quite happy that the other player who used him didn't make any too rational decisions. So right now I'm not controlling the cavalry anymore. I finished off. I actually wanted to send them to cap the opponent's base, but it seems that they were pulled back by somebody. And I think I see the reason why. Javelins are annoying us, and the cavalry can take them out with one single decent charge. So I've sent my units to defend, and controlling CPU has paid out rather well here. There are so many ways CPUs can be used. These were just a few that I used. I used them to hit the enemy from the rear, take out the weak targets, and nothing else. The simplest of tactics, actually. As I said in the beginning, if you don't know what to do with them, just send them into the base and let them stay there. You can pull them with you to cover your sides or your rear, but don't be surprised when somebody else tries to control it and messes up your tactics. With a team that cooperates, there are many ways it can work. Spreading units out among your various teammates, or just using it to block off a single bottleneck area. There are so many ways, and it's best not to send them head on in. So this was it about controlling CPU. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.